Hey guys, what's up? Ray here from Two Broke Gamers. Today I'm going game hunting and I figured I'd take you guys with me. And at the end, I want to show you some games that I've picked up recently. I'm not going to show them all because it has been a lot since the last video, as you may know. But it's just some of the highlights that I thought were worth showing. But yeah, so I'm heading to the Just Press Play Mega Store. It opened about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. I did go to the grand opening, and that was cool. Really hard to walk around, very crowded, but an awesome spot, and I'm excited to go again. Probably not going to go too crazy with spending and whatnot, but you know, I got some money on my account there, so I try and use that up. But yeah, so I will see you guys when we get there. Hey guys, so I tried my best to record as much as I could. It was a little more difficult than I thought, but hopefully this gives you kind of an idea of my trip and, you know, what the stuff I got to see. A lot of stuff to look at, really cool. You know, can never go wrong going game hunting, right? Go to a cool store. What I thought was neat was they have like a graded games section. They are for sale. I'm not that target audience, but it's still cool to see. But what is cool is this Elemental Gearbolt case set with the light gun. That's incredible. As well as these Red Dead Redemption revolvers. They're real guns, so they couldn't sell them, but that's crazy that exists. And the landfill dug up ET on Atari. That to me is like, that's just hilarious that exists. And they pulled them out. Earthbound, of course. You got stadium events. Gotta show off the stadium events. Gotta show off the mag rifle as well. Gachapon machines, if that's your thing. I did end up getting one. I got the Black Frost Gachapon out of the SMT one right there. Super cool. Kirby, all that stuff. Upstairs, you get to the vinyl section. I love the vinyl section. I like video game soundtracks. I like just collecting soundtrack vinyl in general, whether it's music I like, metal. I'm like slurring over my speech here. Metal, video game soundtracks, that Skies of Arcadia box set, you know, super cool. Right here we have CD soundtracks for video games, awesome as well. I wish my car had a CD player. I'd probably buy more, to be honest. Here's some more video game soundtracks. Back downstairs to the PS2 section. PS2 is a really cool system to collect for because it's affordable and they're great. Affordable outside of the case, right? There are expensive PS2 games, obviously, but same with PS1. They're fun systems to collect for. Xbox Original, it's a good one to collect for. Relatively cheap, good games. As well as 360. It's starting to creep up there, so you got to be careful, but I love me some good 360 games. I wanted to show the PS3 games, but somebody walked through, so I couldn't. Some Wii, right? Dragon Ball, some Last Story, some Pikmin 2, cool stuff. You got little Samson on the NES, Flintstones, those like test card, I don't even know what those are. GameCube section, stacked. I love GameCube section, I'm a big sucker. For the GameCube, Gacha Force, super cool to see. I wanted Pikmin 2, but they didn't have it, it's all good. But yeah, so pretty much last video I show here. So I'm gonna head back and I'll meet you back at the computer to show you some of the stuff I've gotten recently. So appreciate it. I'll see you there. Hey guys, we're back home from the trip and I am going to show you games that the game I bought there. I picked up a game, showed it at the end, but I'm going to show you the stuff that I've gotten since the last pickups video. Now, I'm not going to show you everything I've gotten within the last year or whatever, but I'm going to show you some highlight games that I think stand out and I'm happy to own and whatnot. And I will pick games that I have gotten recently. If I got something within the last few months, I'll definitely show it. But regardless, we're going to jump into it now. Thanks for sticking in for the intro. Let's get to the games. Let's start with some modern stuff, some modern PS5, PS4 stuff. And start with probably the most modern game I've picked up, and that is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, this is the new camera setup I'm talking about. How about that? I didn't know if maybe this would be a little bit better for showing the games, but anyway. Clair Expedition 33, what a game. That's all I can say. The game's actually not even in the case because it's in the system. There is a game in the case, though, as I bumped the camera. Dark Souls 1. That came out of the system as Expedition went in. But what a fantastic game by Landfall, or Sandfall. I keep calling them Landfall, Sandfall. Turn-based JRPG with real-time dodging and parrying and stunning graphics, really stunning graphics. Excellent story. A lot of, you know, like why am I playing on twists? A lot of twists, a lot of plot twists and stuff. So super good game. I don't want to say too much because the less you know about the game, the better. Just know it's fantastic. But I genuinely don't want to say too much. So if you have not picked up Expedition 33, and whether you're a fan of turn-based or not, give this game a shot. I'm telling you, it's getting the praise it's getting for a reason, 100%. All right, let's. I gotta find a place to put these when I'm done with them. I guess that's gonna be where they go. All right. You're gonna notice. You've probably noticed over the years of that was not a game I just threw. That was a little plastic case of nothing. I've really gotten into JRPGs, and I do got to thank Ryder for that. He kind of opened my eyes to JRPGs, and I always thank Grandia on PS1 for that. But so you're gonna see a lot of JRPGs. Speaking of JRPGs, Suikoden, the 1 and 2 remaster, super cool that they did this. I think this game, it really needed this because while the first game is relatively affordable, the second game is not anymore, and so they really needed to make it more accessible for people. Now, I have only beaten the first one on this collection, the first game. I have not played the second one yet, and I know the second one is considered better. The first one has a few things that I gripe about that apparently were fixed in the second one, but regardless, HD remaster of classic JRPGs. Definitely give these a shot if you're a fan of turn-based, if you're a fan of classic JRPGs, kind of going back to the roots, while also Suikoden has a very unique kind of mechanic to it, and the way you get party members and things is really different and cool. So I definitely recommend giving Suikoden 1 a try. And Suikoden 2 I heard is better, so I can't say anything because I haven't played it, but I can recommend 1, and I'm looking forward to playing 2 whenever that is. So yeah, definitely pick this up if you can find it. I think this retailed at 50. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. Alright. This is a game that I do know a little bit about. I haven't played too much of it. That is The Messenger. Now, this game got a release physical on Switch about, I don't even know how long ago. But basically, it's one of the most expensive Switch games, physical at the time, by Limited Run. I believe it was Limited Run. And it was just hard to get a physical copy of it for, without spending hundreds of dollars. So it got reprinted. I decided to pick this up. I got this used for 20 bucks. I think that's a good price. Action platformer, kind of paying homage to the retro style graphics. You kind of bounce between like 8-bit and 16-bit, I believe, and then you have like a Metroidvania element to it when you get further into the game. So super cool. If you like Metroidvanias or just platformers in general, action platformers, give this one a shot. Very challenging. If you've played like Celeste, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about by when I say challenging. It's not just the enemies, it's honestly the levels, it's platforming and stuff that becomes hard, but super cool. Right, I picked up this game. I got this for $8. I heard this game's not very good. It's a PS5 game by Square Enix. I heard it's not very good. I don't know what makes it not good, genuinely. But I figured for $8, I really wanted to give it a chance. I haven't played it yet, but I did pick this up. That is the Diofield Chronicle. I don't know if any of you have played this or can really say much on it, but I don't know. I mean, the art's cool. It's Square Enix. I know Square Enix isn't as like reputable as it used to be when now that they're kind of putting out some stuff like Balan Wonderland or whatever. But still, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's got like kind of looks like a tactics type of strategy RPG. Graphics look nice, at least on the cover. I mean, I'm gonna give it a chance eventually. Don't know when I'm gonna really dive into it, but I'm gonna give it a chance. But yeah, not really much to say. Just pick this up for $8 and want to see if it's good or bad. I kind of like to form my own opinion. And honestly, $8. It can't be worse than like $8, right? Like ideally, right? Like you can't like you. What game is not worth $8? Modern game like Gollum, Rise of Kong, like that. That game's kind of bad, right? But regardless, $8. All right. Now, we're gonna dive a little bit into Atlus for a bit. I hope you don't mind. I'm a big Atlus fan. Big Atlus fan. But when I heard this was getting a remake, or not a remake, a port on PS5, and it's no longer locked to Switch, that was an absolute no-brainer. I had to pick it up, and that is for Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. I got, of course, the Steelbook version, right? I mean, you got to get the Steelbook version. I believe the Steelbook version is still very much like available. You can get it anywhere. I just clicked the. Whoops. You can still get it anywhere, but yeah, super cool Steelbook. I have the Steelbook version on Switch as well, so I figured I would get it on the PS5. It's no extra cost. Of course, I pre-ordered it, but no extra cost to get the Steelbook, from what I understand. So, like I said, it's no longer stuck to the Switch, which is awesome. The Switch version did not run very good. But if you know about SMT, you know what you're getting into here. Collecting, demons, infusing them to get stronger as they fight with you in kind of a Pokemon element. It's honestly adult Pokemon. I don't know any other way to describe SMT, but like it's like adult Pokemon. And that's why I love it. The demons are awesome. The interactions are cool. The stories they're normally pretty solid. But it's really the press turn combat that stands out in this game. The visuals, the characters, the demon designs, all that stuff. That's really what carries it, in my opinion. But yeah, if you ever played Persona, this is kind of where it started. Persona is the spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. I know a lot of people don't seem to remember that, but so if you're a fan of Persona, maybe give this one a shot. There's difficulty settings. These games are known for being pretty hard, so just heads up. But yeah, so super glad to have that on a PS5 and not a Switch anymore. So super cool. Pick that one up. I can't recommend it enough. I have not finished it. I'm like 30 hours in. Other games keep coming out. I can't keep up, man. I'm trying to play all these other games, and Elden Ring Night Rain just came out last night. Oh my god, I was playing that. It's like, come on, man. Anyway, which I've been streaming. I've been streaming on TikTok and on Twitch. Follow the Two Broke Gamers live on Twitch. It's in the description. Been streaming Two Broke Gamers on TikTok as well. All right, we're staying on Atlus. Like I said, we're on Atlus for a little bit. This one came out and was everything I wanted. I was excited for this game, and it delivered. It delivered on every count. That is for Metaphor ReFantazio, however you want to say it. Absolutely one of my favorite games I've ever played. This game, I feel like this is a game that I'm gonna be gushing about for a long time. Whether it's the menus, whether it's the characters, whether it's the class and job system, the story. I cannot get enough of Metaphor. It is incredible. I do want to get the platinum for it, but I'd have to do another playthrough, and when I'm ready to do that, I'll do that. But super good. I'm like at a loss of words. Just again, it's one of those games I don't want to say too much, but I want you to go play this. Please, if you take any game from this video to go out and buy right now, it's got to be Metaphor. It has to be. Give this game a chance. You will love it. And if you love Persona, this is right at home. You're right at home with this. Without the high school setting, which is my favorite thing. It goes back to that medieval setting, kind of more fantasy, and love this game. All right. You already know what I said about Atlus. So when I picked up Diofield Chronicle, though, I picked this game up as well for $8. This game's just relatively cheap. Again, I feel like it can't be worse than $8. That is for Persona 5 Tactica. Now, I've not played Persona 5. I know. You put me on a crucifix, but I've not played Persona 5. I will, but they're long. Give me a break. But it's a tactics RPG, and I've really learned to love tactics RPGs recently. And I just feel like this game, you can't go wrong with $8 for an Atlus Persona 5 tactical RPG, So, not much to say as far as gameplay. But, again, $8. You're gonna pass it up? I mean, I couldn't. I'm kind of trying to collect every Atlus game ever made. which is obviously a daunting task. I'm not going to, but it's like a little thing to work towards. It's like anytime I see Atlas, I'm like, oh, let me check it out. Let me see the price. Is it something I'm interested in? Is it not? So $8 Atlas game, count me in. All right, my stack's getting a little messed up. I might have to do a little bit of rearranging, but all right. Speaking of Persona, I have beaten this game, so I can talk about this one. That is for Persona 3 Reload. Now, this is the only way I've ever played Persona 3. I did not play the PS2, the PSP, any of those versions. This is the way I played it. And I couldn't be happier that this is the way that I played it, because I do believe this is the definitive way to play it. Based off of videos I've seen, people I've talked to, this is the way to play Persona 3. And man, is it an incredible game. The soundtrack to this game is without a doubt my favorite soundtrack of any game. I don't care. This is the best soundtrack. I've got my girlfriend knows all the words to the songs. I know them. It's just incredible. But again, if you like Persona 5, give this one a shot. You're back in high school. You're developing your social links. You're still getting your demons and fusing them and battling and going through dungeons and dungeon I should say. You'll know what I mean if you know. But yeah, again, super good story, super fun gameplay. It's got that press turn system that I love. No, it doesn't have the press turn system. What am I saying? It doesn't have the press turn system. It has what do they call it? An all-in. Sorry, I don't know why. It has an all-in thing that I really like. I think that's really fun. When you knock an enemy down, get their weakness. But yeah, so super cool game. Give this one a shot. Like I said, love Persona 3. That is. This is the only Persona game I've ever played. And beaten. The next one I've played, I haven't beaten it yet. But yeah, that one's awesome. Give that one a shot. All right, this is the last Atlas game for a little bit. There's more though. Don't worry. I love Atlas. But I did pick up Persona 4 Golden on the PS4. This is the limited run version, not the new printed cooler one. I think the new one's cooler. But I did pick this up. I've played about 30 hours. If I'm going to be honest with you, I do like the game. I like that it comes with a manual. Oops, as I hit the camera. Colored manual. Pretty cool, right? I do think I went immediately to this game right after Persona 3. And it was a little bit of a jarring experience going back to this PS Vita upscaled to modern console style. The gameplay it really did feel a little dated, and I'm not one to complain about it, but it just felt like I wasn't giving the game an honest, fair chance because I just came off of a remake of 3. Now, there's rumors that this game is getting remastered, remade, because the voice actor said he's not coming back for the remake, so I mean, that kind of makes it sound like you just kind of told everybody that there's a remake. So I'm thinking about holding out until the remaster, if that's a thing. But let me know. Let me know what you think, if I should keep going with Persona 4. Like I said, I liked what I played. I think the story's better than 3. I do like the story better than 3. The kind of murder mystery aspect of it, I think is really cool. Let me adjust my stack. That sounded kind of weird, didn't it? Adjust my stack. I don't know where to put these. I just gotta as long as they're not falling, right? Sorry, unedited. Just me and you. No music. I don't even know if I'm adding music to this. So sorry if it bothers you. All right. Last PS4 game. Last PS4 or PS5 game. And then we kind of jump into the more retro stuff. But this is a game I had to pick up, and who do I blame for this? Do I blame Gung Ho? Do I blame Amazon? Either way, this remastered collection was coming out, and they were like, you can't pre-order it because there's plenty of copies. Don't worry, it's Amazon exclusive. There'll be plenty. They lied. They lied so hard. And that is for Lunar Remastered. They really screwed a lot of people. Actually, Ryder just got his copy in the mail yesterday as of recording this. And it is just insane that this has become such an issue to get physical. It should never be this way. It's not a limited run. It's not any of that. But anyway, regardless, we're not here to talk about that, I guess. Anyway, Lunar, one of my favorite games of all time. is incredible. I have the PS1 big box version, as I've probably showed a video, and I never played Lunar 2, so this was perfect for me to try out Lunar 2. But this is a must play. If you are a JRPG fan and you've not played Lunar, this is an absolute must play. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to play Lunar. It is an absolute incredible experience, and it is as like pure JRPG as you can get, while still having a little bit of differences in the combat and things. But you have got to play this. And again, it's a remaster of 1 and 2 with remastered cutscenes and whatnot. I do believe the voice acting stayed, which is funny to me. I think the voice acting is like bad in a good way. But regardless, you got to play Lunar. I keep hitting the camera. Why is this thing sticking off the side of this camera? I don't know, or this like mount, but I keep hitting it. But it's got a reversible cover as well back there. Again, sad. You know how it goes. No manuals, no art. It just kind of sucks when there's nothing in there. But yeah, definitely play Lunar. Definitely play Lunar. You can get this digital. If you don't mind digital, you can get it digital, but definitely give this one a play. I feel like I need another sip of coffee. I feel like I'm rambling a lot. Anyway, let's go. Let's jump to let's jump to PS3 and Xbox 360. All right. So I picked this PS3 game up. It is based solely me buying it based off of it being an Astrobot. I was like, oh yeah, if this bot deserves an Astrobot bot, whatever, then maybe it's good enough to buy. And I would see it all the time. It's like an iconic PS3 cover. I believe it's an exclusive, but like I don't think you can play it on PS4 anymore. I don't know, but I say anymore as if it was a thing. But that is for Heavenly Sword on the PS3. I have played a little bit of it. Honestly, it's kind of just like a where's the camera? It needed to catch up. It's basically God of War, right? Hack and slash combat. It's not bad. I do believe it's in the system right now because it was I was playing it. It's not bad. It is a little bit. Hey, look at that folklore being advertised back there. It's pretty cool. It is a little bit repetitive, and these types of games are fun and all, but like, I don't know. I also think that it just didn't run the best frame rate wise. It had a little bit of issues and stuttering, but I got this for 15 bucks. I think it's worth 15 bucks if you wanted to give it a chance, if you like these types of games. Will I return to it? I'm not sure. But regardless, I just picked it up because, it's such an iconic cover, and I feel like I've seen it a million times, and I'm like, it started to feel like I just needed to have it in my collection. Like, if you own a PS3, you gotta have Heavenly Sword. I'm like, I might be the only person that ever has said that, but whatever. Alright, this game, I picked up the 360 copy. This copy is actually for Ryder, and I didn't bother taking the sticker off yet. Sorry, Ryder. You can deal with that. I tried taking it off for you, man, but these stickers are horrendous. But that is for XCOM Enemy Unknown. Look at that price. See that? $4.99. What a cheap game, right? But apparently, it's fantastic. So I picked it up on the 360 and was playing it, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good. If you like strategy RPGs, it is so fun. Building your units and like going out, and the combat's really fun. They kind of duck and cover type of turn-based combat, and line of sight matters, and area of effects, and where just your positioning matters, and I think it's really cool. So this game, dirt cheap, and people love it. And I believe the second one is dirt cheap as well on the PS4. But yeah, so if you don't have this, definitely worth $5. I believe the 360 version is even cheaper, and it's backwards compatible with the Series X, Xbox One, whatever. That's how I was playing it, and it gets enhanced, and it's really cool. This game, this is another PS3 game. This is the last PS3 game I picked up. I'm not the PS3 guy. That's Ryder. Whenever he does pickups video, you got plenty of PS3 stuff to watch. Especially the last one we did. I believe he did like, I think it was like the most you ever spent, and it was such an amount of PS3 games. But anyway, this game I picked up. Ryder wanted it, so I'm not sure if this, I don't know whose copy this is, if it's mine or if I bought it for him. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll find out. But the reason I heard about this game is, what is it called? I'm blanking. All Gen Gamers, the podcast with Happy Console Gamer, Pete Dorr, Metal Jesus, Gamester 81, Jason Heine, back in the day, they kept talking about White Knight Chronicles on PS3. I believe the second one was coming out at the time when they were talking about it. And they were like, oh man, White Knight Chronicles, I'm playing White Knight Chronicles. And I guess it's kind of like an MMO on the PS3. I do believe I don't know if you need to be online to play it. I don't know if there's an offline mode. There probably is, but it was such a cheap pickup that I'm genuinely not sure. But regardless, it was cheap. It's an RPG. Ryder said he wanted it. I heard about it on the All Gen Gamer. So whether this is my copy or his, I'm not sure. I believe it was $10. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about it. It was kind of just heard about it type of thing, you know? All right. Let's go 360. Now, a game that's over there that I forgot to grab, and I'm just going to mention, that I beat recently. Xbox Original, Morrowind. I got the Game of the Year edition. What a game. I just wanted to say that. It's over there, and I forgot to grab it, but that's an honorable mention. I forgot to grab Morrowind. Alright. This game, I've been wanting for a while. I actually played this back. Do you guys like when I just kind of like talk about the game a little bit before I show it? I don't know if it's like, if you're trying to guess it type of thing. That's how I take it, is like, but like I'm not really giving hints about the game, I'm just talking about it. But anyway, I'll give a hint for this one. It's super bloody, over the top gory, and it is not a 360 exclusive. You can get this on PS3. It is a Namco release, and it's a very iconic franchise. And the cool thing about this is that you can unlock the original 3 games to play. Not giving it away, I don't know. Super gory, super bloody. Splatterhouse. My sister's fiance at the time had this game, and I watched him play it. I was probably 13. I was like, what am I looking at? You know, I'm like, this is crazy. This is just an absolute crazy gore fest. As the camera just dies on me. Sorry, I don't know why it does that. But absolute gore fest. You wanna... Hey, if that code still works, all yours. It doesn't work. I'm just letting you know it doesn't work. But Splatterhouse 360. I saw him play it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this game, and I never bought it. And then so recently, with the 360 games kind of going up in price, I'm like, uh-oh, it's happening. I should probably buy this now. And I picked it up, and I like this game. You know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's basically just like super over-the-top beat-em-up style, to hack and slash, get different, like, unlock skills on a skill tree and go crazy, and just absolute spill blood. But like I said, you can unlock the original 3. I'm sorry, the camera is not really good at focusing. You can unlock all 3 of the original Splatterhouse games to play, which is kind of what makes this game valuable in a way, because those games are super expensive. But yeah, I think this game's funny. I just think if you don't take it too serious, take it for what it is, go have fun. That I think you'll enjoy it. All right, how about a racing game in a very iconic racing franchise that is on multi-platform? I mean, it's on PSP, it's on DS, PS2, Xbox Original, GameCube. I mean, it's on a lot of things, PC. But the 360 version was a launch title, and it is the absolute best way to play this game. The PC is close, but this is the best version, and I wish it was backwards compatible, but you have to play it on your 360. It's an EA release for a very iconic racing game. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Definitely such an iconic, great racing game. This game really stands out simply because of like the blacklist, right, and the cops. It just is like probably my favorite racing game ever. Definitely favorite. It's my favorite Need for Speed. That I can say confidently. Favorite racer, maybe that could be debatable, but it is fantastic. You just have so much fun with this game. But like I said, this is the best way to play it. If you can get your hands on this copy, try this out. Like I said, it's not backwards compatible, so you got to hook up your 360. But this game is fantastic. I'm almost done with it. It gets hard, man. Those races get crazy tough when you get up to, like, you know, top 5 on the blacklist and whatever. It gets crazy, but love this game. It's just fun to progress in games like that when you're upgrading your car and getting new ones, and it's just fun. All right, so we're done with that. Let's do some PS2. Actually, let's do some 3DS. I've got 3 3DS games to show. This one I picked up really cheap. Kind of bought it off the hype of Monster Hunter Wilds. And I heard this one is people's favorite Monster Hunter. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. And I was really curious about how in the world a Monster Hunter game is going to run on the 3DS. And that is for Monster Hunter Generations. 3DS, of course, as you can see. Super shocked that this game actually runs pretty decently and doesn't look horrible. I think it's in the 3DS right now. Okay, well, that's a spoiler for games to come. It is in the 3DS right now. But this game runs really well on the 3DS, and I can understand why people like it so much too. It has so much in it. There's so much to do. And it really kind of makes the modern Monster Hunters look bad. Not that the modern Monster Hunters are bad, but like, I feel like with the modern Monster Hunters, you get done with them so fast. And then it's like, well, I guess I can grind out. And that is the point of Monster Hunter, right? I'm not going to act like it's not. But I just feel like this has a lot to offer for Monster Hunter fans. And you can play the Switch version. It got like a Monster Hunter Generations DX. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a port on the Switch that you can play. All right, here's the spoil game. I'll show it. We're back to Atlas. This is Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked. I just wanted to read it to make sure, because I keep saying the other one, and I'll show you the other one eventually. But Devil Survivor Overclocked. This is a tactics RPG, and it is really hard. That's what I'm going to lead off with. This is a really hard game. Well, you already know the game is... Oh, it's another spoiler. I love how every game is not in its case. That is so funny to me. You know what? Let's just get the other one out of the way. You know what? The other one, Fantasy Life. This one is in the system. So let's do the right thing here. Let's put Fantasy... Or, this is not in the system. Monster Hunter's in the system. Let's put Fantasy Life back home where Fantasy Life belongs. Be smart here, right? Let me do the right thing. So Fantasy Life is going in. Let's grab Monster Hunter Generations and let's put SMT back in its home. I'm doing this live. If I don't do it now, I won't do it. But yes, this game is hard. Look at this manual. Are you kidding me? A 3DS manual? Look at that thing. That is crazy. But yeah, these are the 3 3DS games I picked up. I'm sorry, I can't believe they were all in different cases. That is hilarious. But speaking of Fantasy Life, I do want to say I picked up the new one, Girl Who Stole Time. I'm loving it so much. I wish it had a physical copy, but I went ahead and bought it digitally on PlayStation. But super cool. Animal Crossing meets action RPG. Super hard Atlas tactics game that's awesome. And a really good Monster Hunter game. That wraps up my 3DS games. That's embarrassingly funny. All right, let's move to PS2. I have a decent chunk. All right, so me and Ryder, we were on. Sometimes when we're talking late at night, we get on these lists, right? Top 10 JRPGs on the Dreamcast, right? Like just random stuff. And we came across a list that was like top 10 hardest PS2 games. I'm like, well, I'm kind of curious because a lot of PS2 games that I know that are hard are kind of hard because they're bullshit. I feel like modern difficulty is a lot different than older difficulty, where older difficulty was like, you're fighting the camera, you're fighting the controls, they're throwing too many enemies at you, there's clunkiness, just things like that, and unfairness, unbalanced, right? But regardless, I was like, well, let's check it out. And this game made it on the list, but it's a Capcom game. And it made it on the list, and I was like, man, I've seen this cover 100 times, and I've thought about picking it up, but I never did. But once I heard that it was one of the hardest PS2 games, I'm like, well, now I'm curious, and it's very affordable. That is for Maximo Ghosts to Glory. This game is basically like a predecessor to the Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts franchise. It's a 3D, like action hack and slash. I'm not gonna call it an RPG. 3D platformer, 3D action platformer that is hard because when you die, also I bought it with a broken case and I have to replace it, unfortunately. I didn't know the case was broken because like from here, right? Like I don't know, like I couldn't tell at first and it was closing fine, but regardless, it's kind of one of those like you have limited lives and you have to restart. So, you know, I mean, look at that. The hint's literally on the disc. Isn't that kind of crazy that the hint is on the disc? Like, I find it interesting. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You can definitely see the inspiration from the other games. But give this one a shot. It's really fun, actually. I think it's really good. It looks really good. It aged well. I think this will be a fun one for me and Ryder to sit down and try and beat together. Controller passing. Because it's hard, but I like it. I think it was 15 bucks. Yeah, I think 15 bucks. So, you know, it's worth a shot. Alright, this game I picked up. It is a PS2 working design game, and I'm going for a complete working design collection. By saying that, I'm like, I say that really loosely. It's just like if I see a working design game, I just want it. But when I saw this one and the price I was like, I'm gonna buy this regardless because this is probably the cheapest working design game that I've ever personally come across. And that is for Sylphied the Lost Planet. This is a shmup. No shock, right? I mean, look at the cover. Is that you're gonna tell me that this is not a shmup? I think I sent a picture of this to Ryder. I said I don't know anything about it, and he said like, if this is not a shmup, I'll cut my left nut off or something. It's like, it's very reflective cover too. Sorry if it's hard to see, but I like it. I actually really like it. I do think it's challenging. I think the customization is really neat, and for my first kind of real shmup, I just never really played the genre. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's like regarded as like one of the best, but it's a very solid shmup. So this was like $20, and I'm like, where do you get a working design game for $20? This probably came in like a special box at one point, and maybe that's why I got it so cheap. You know, working design games come in like special packaging, and this one kind of didn't. But regardless, a $20 working design game, I'm in. Alright, I picked up this PS2 game solely based off of Ryder telling me I should pick it up. Katamari Damacy, however you want to say it. I went with the PS2 version, although you can get it on PS4. I think the PS4 version is just called Reroll. I went with the PS2 copy because I feel like the cover's better. I like the disc. I like the manual. I like full-colored manuals, right? So I kind of just opted for this, and I was playing it through the RetroTink. Big ups to RetroTink. That thing is incredible. But it looks great. It looks great. It holds up, and I was playing it a little bit just to kind of get an idea of it. And I mean, I kind of knew what it was, you know, picking up trash and whatnot. But I will say, what took me the longest was just getting the controls kind of down, because I kept like, I know it's like twin stick, and in my head it makes sense. But like, I kept messing up the turning, which is just gonna come in time. Like, I'm gonna get better at it, whatever. But like, that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a little bit till I'm comfortable playing this game. But it is. Ryder recommended it to me because he said it's just like a fun, relaxing game, and that it is. Unless you're going for the platinum, he made it sound not so relaxing. I feel like everybody's played Katamari, right? I mean, I was probably like the first. One of the only people that hasn't, but now that I've played a little bit of it, I can say it is a lot of fun. Alright, now, this game is a PS2 FromSoft game. I'm a FromSoft fanboy. If I see the words FromSoft, I'm going to buy it if it's reasonably priced. This one was kind of reasonably priced, but that is for Kingsfield: The Ancient City. Now, I believe this is the 4th in the franchise. I forget where I picked this one up at, but I remember walking in, seeing it, buying it, and leaving. It was one of the shortest trips to a game store I've ever had. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was like, yeah, I'm just buying that. I'm just leaving. Like, I'm good. And that's one thing I'll always remember about this game. Again, love me a colored manual, right? I mean, who doesn't love a colored manual? But yeah, so Kingsfield is, again, a FromSoft, a first-person dungeon crawl kind of RPG. Yeah, you got magic, you got weapons, you got armor and equipment and stuff like that. I actually really like how it looks. I'm a fan of like older graphics, like PS2 era graphics. I feel like I'm a sucker for. Same with PS1, GameCube. There's like eras that I probably, because that's what I mainly grew up with. But like for me, like 360 and PS3 era graphics just don't sit well with me. That like awkward realism. Where like PS2, GameCube, PS1, I'm in on that. I love that stuff, that 3D style. But yeah, I'm a fan of how it looks. I think it aged fairly decently. I'd like to play the other ones. I played a little bit of this, haven't finished it by any means, but I don't know. I thought it was cool and worth picking up. Again, it's FromSoft, so of course I'm gonna buy it. All right, this is a Square Enix PS2 game by the creator. I believe it's the creator of Nier. Like, I think I'm right. I mean, Ryder's told me 100 times and I'm still probably butchering it. But that is Drakengard. Ryder kept talking about Drakengard. He's like, I want to play the Drakengard games. And the realistic thing is, when me and Ryder talk to each other about like, man, you ever heard of this game? I really want to play it. I feel, at least for me, I can really be convinced to play it. I'm like, oh, okay. If you're interested in it, let me check it out. And then I'll check it out. I'm like, okay, then I'm interested in it. Then I want to play it. And that's pretty much what happened. One thing I can say, this game does not shine when it comes to gameplay. It is the story. And from what Ryder's told me, that's pretty much how Nier is. I'm not saying the combat's atrocious and like garbage, but it does not shine in the combat. It is very simple and repetitive, just action, hack and slash combat. But I'm almost done with this game. I'm right at the end. It gets so challenging. Ryder, he can tell you some things about Drakengard 3 that I won't say. You know, I'll leave that to him if he ever wants to talk about it. But these games get challenging, and so I am right at the end, and I do think it's a really fun game. I don't know, like, there's the second one's on PS2 as well. I don't actually know where they rank for people. Like, Drakengard 1 better than 2, 2 better than 1, 3 better than both. You know what I mean? I don't really know. But I have a feeling this is a franchise that gets better each game. It just seems like it would be. Like, the first one's probably the worst, and then the second one gets better, and then the third one, you know? It just seems that way, but I could be wrong. But yeah. What a weird one. I'll say that. Alright, we got another working design game. PS2 working design. I don't actually know how many PS2 working design games there were. I kind of want to look into that because I feel like there weren't too many. But I got Growlancer Generations. Now, I know that this is 2 different games. I don't know if it's the first and second. I cannot remember. I hate to not know. I knew at one point, and I can't remember, but I do believe it is the first and second. Oh, man, it sucks not knowing, but it is 2 discs. Regardless, it's 2 discs. A nice sizable manual. But Growlancer Generations is a tactics RPG, and again, I've kind of gotten into tactics RPGs lately, and I'm a working design fan. So what else can I say? This did come in a box version that was really cool. Came like a necklace, I think, or a ring. So the box version is really cool. I just went ahead and got this version from for now, I guess. I don't know, maybe if I come across the box, but it's much cheaper this way, so this is the way I went ahead and got it. But yeah, I bought this because the working design game. Okay, I'm sorry I don't know too much about all the games I buy. You know how it goes. We collectors, what, you expect us to play the game? Come on, man. We just buy them and then they sit on our shelves and we don't know what to say about them, but we like, hey, we have that. Now this is a game I picked up because I love the first game. It actually got me into JRPGs. You remember from the little bit of foreshadowing since the beginning of the video. But I picked this up, Grandia Extreme. I don't really know too much about this game. It seems like it's like a very mixed bag of reviews. I picked this up because a local game store of mine was shutting down a location and having a sale. They were shutting it down to open up a mega store. So it's not like it was like going out of business, but they were doing a sale. And I was like, you know what? I do need to get this one and the third one eventually. So like, let me go ahead and buy this on sale and get a decent deal on it in case I don't like it. But regardless, I wanted to get Grandia Extreme. It is the fourth game, essentially. But I'm interested in playing this. I honestly get really interested in playing the games and franchises that like people don't really mention. And it's not like they mention it, it's like, oh, it sucks, oh, it's good. It's just, I feel like this one doesn't get talked about. Everyone always just talks about the first and second one. And the second one actually makes a lot of lists as far as like top JRPGs of all time. I haven't beaten the second one. I really like the first one, but you know, I mean, that's awesome if the second one's better. I'm here for good games. I'm not gonna complain, but yeah, this one just doesn't come up a lot. So I want to give this one a shot. Why not? All right, got an Atlus game. What a shock! This game was one of those. I've seen the cover a million times. I always saw it at my game store. And I was like, you know what? I need to like look into this game because it's an Atlus game and no one talks about it. And I'm watching gameplay and I'm like, man, this is reminding me of Sandland, right? Kind of. And I'm watching, I'm getting interested. I'm like, you know what? I think I want to buy this game, actually. And let me say, the stars must have aligned because I hadn't seen it in my game store for a couple months. I walked in, there it was, sitting there, just traded in. I had enough money on my account to cover the difference, so I picked up Steambot Chronicles, also known as Bumpy Trot in Japan, which is a cooler name in my opinion. Why didn't we get Bumpy Trot? Why did we get Steambot Chronicles? Regardless though, you know, it's a really, really cool game. Basically, your Trotmobile, right? Sorry if it's not focusing very well, but your Trotmobile is kind of, you know, it's your mech, and you customize them and you run around, and it is genuinely a like open world RPG. And one thing here that camera probably won't focus, but I can read it for you. If Hayao Miyazaki, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but the Ghibli, you know, creator of Ghibli, if Hayao Miyazaki made a sandbox style game, it would probably look a lot like this from Hardcore Gamer magazine. That was like, I'm in. Right? Like, you're telling me I'm in. This is actually what the cover of it is in Japan, I believe. Which really goes to show Japan always got the more like cartoony style, which I like, where we always got like that, like, I'm not saying this isn't very anime either. I don't know, like, they always wanted to make people look a little more realistic, where this is like unique, right? I don't know, it kind of looks like My Tribe art. That's a deep cut. But anyway, a really, really cool game. If you like sandbox style RPGs, if you like mechs, if you just like exploring and being rewarded for it, and you know, pretty fun combat and really cool story, and just overall like a game you can just kind of sink your teeth into and kind of get lost in, this is the game for you. When I play more, I'm sure I will be able to kind of recommend it some more, but I like it so far. A little bit steep on the price, but like I said, I bought it because I got it covered based off store credit. I do want to say, while I'm a collector, I do get rid of games that I don't like. I don't collect just for the sake of collecting. If I play a game and I don't like it, I will get rid of it. And there have been a few games recently that I've gotten rid of that were in previous pickups videos that I was like, oh, I can't wait to play it. I played it and I didn't like it. It just happens. All right, this is the final PS2 game, and then we're gonna do some GameCube, and then I do have a PSP game. Shocking, right? And then I have a collector's edition of a game I wanted to show at the end. This might shock you, but this is an Atlas game. I love Shin Megami Tensei, and I really wanted to try this game out because it is not turn-based. It is an action combat SMT game. And as soon as I bought it, a week later they announced the remaster. That is for Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Raido Kuzunoha versus the Soulless Army. I'm actually going to take it out of this protective cover. I have it in this protective cover because it has like a foil cover to it, as you'll see here. And I get a little worried about these. I don't know. It might be hard to see, but you see a little bit of reflection there. It looks a little holographic. I get a little worried about these. You see it in the sky here. So I am keeping this one in a protective cover just because. But look at how sleek this looks. Look at that. Look at that disc. Look at that simple art on manual. I love simplicity. I'm not saying I don't love over the top, but man, I love simplicity. And this really just hits simple, and I love it. But yeah, so they announced that this game's getting a remake. I think it's just called Raido versus the Soulless Army. It looks like it changed some camera angle stuff, some combat mechanic, controls and whatnot. But regardless, I don't regret buying this. I'm glad to have this as an SMT fan. And Raido is an awesome character. If you played SMT3 Nocturne, the remaster on PS4, Raido is in the game. And he takes the spot of a kind of a other franchise character that they use, the guest character. I won't say in case you don't know, but if you play the PS2 version, you will get who I'm talking about. And there is a DLC on the PS4 version to get the guest character, but I didn't want to pay that. I'll just play the PS2 version when I beat it again and get him. But yeah, so this is you're kind of like a detective, and where you're kind of working with a detective, and you summon demons and you recruit them kind of the same way you do in the other games where you convince them and whatnot, but you actually use them outside of battle to help you do certain things, like ghosts can go into, you can control the demon and actually go into a door or a room that you're not allowed in, and because they don't see the demons, and go scoop around. And if you got one that, if you need something caught on fire and you have like a pyro, like a Jack Bro, right, like a not Jack Frost, why am I blanking? Jack-o'-lantern, right? Jeez. If you have him, you got to catch them on fire. So you use the demons in a different way, and I think it's really neat. And you have action combat, random encounter, action combat, and your demons fight alongside you. I think that's really neat. And they have special abilities. You have special abilities. You got like gun and whatnot. So it's really neat. Definitely, if you don't want to buy it on PS2, definitely try the remaster. I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely gonna buy that. I believe it's on all platforms. I don't know when it comes out. I think June, July. I don't know. All right, we got 3 GameCube games. I lied. We have 4 GameCube games. All right, this is a FromSoft game on the GameCube. I don't really have too much to say about it other than I know you battle with cards. It's a card battler, like real-time combat. You just use cards. That is Lost Kingdom. Lost Kingdoms. I picked this up on a Black Friday deal at a local game store, and unfortunately, no manual. But the price I paid justified that it didn't have a manual, so I'm okay with that. I basically got it for less than the loose disc would go for, so I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and grab this, give it a shot. I have not played it yet. I want to be completely honest with you. I haven't played it yet, but I do know that you collect cards and use them in battle, in real-time combat. So, really, really unique concept from what it sounds like. I mean, regardless, like I haven't heard of another game that does that that's not turn-based. I'm not saying there isn't one. You know, you can correct me. Sorry, the camera's dying on me. You can correct me, but none that I know of. But yeah, so super cool. I really like the cover. I think it's like simple enough, but still really cool. Like you see the main female protagonist, and you know, I get like that's like an enemy you can have summoned to fight those. I don't know. I actually really think that it's really cool. But yeah, like I said, FromSoft, so had to buy it, right? What can I say? When you're a fanboy, you're a fanboy. All right, this game I have on the PS1, but I really wanted it on GameCube. I do believe the GameCube is just the best way to play. There's a couple games that are on the PS1 that are also on the GameCube, and I do believe the GameCube is just the better way to play them, so I wanted them. That is Resident Evil 2. Been after this one for a little while, because I picked up Resident Evil 3 on the GameCube a while back, Nemesis, and I love that game. And I did beat this on PS1, and I really liked it. But I was like, man, I really want the GameCube version. GameCube is my personal, like, nostalgia reason favorite console of all time. I do think the PS2 is the best system ever made, but I think GameCube is my favorite. Finally getting this was awesome. Every time I would find this game, it would be in horrible condition. That was the problem. It would have ripped art. It would have a ripped manual. You know, it's like I can't justify buying not good condition GameCube games when I'm paying that much money. You know, they weren't really like I wasn't getting a deal on them like I did with Lost Kingdom. So I ended up just not doing it. But yeah, I absolutely love GameCube. And I love Resident Evil, so I wanted to get them all on GameCube, and I do believe, other than Code Veronica, which I did have at one point and I got rid of because I didn't like it, I do have all the Resident Evil GameCube games now. I do have Code Veronica on PS2, so if I want to play it that way, I'll play it, but yeah, like I said, just glad to have Resident Evil 2. I played the remake first. The remake was actually the original way I played RE2. And then I went back and played the original on PS1, loved it, so now I'm like, okay, I want to play the GameCube version, and so that's what I'm going to do. I haven't played it yet, but you know, I've already beaten it, so whenever I feel like jumping into it, I'll jump into it. Alright, here's a game that I'm actively playing right now. This is my current JRPG that I'm playing through. I'm about 30 hours in, and I love this game. The music, the combat is awesome, but there's a reason the combat's awesome. I'm probably gonna give it away. I love pirates. I'm a huge pirate fan. In this game, you're a sky pirate. I mean, come on, man. Come on. That's Skies of Arcadia Legends. Now, you might be saying to yourself, weird, you showed this off in a pickups video before. Why are you showing it off again? I had to sell it. Sometimes when you buy games and you don't get around to them and you need money, you never know what's going to pop up. When you need money, you got to get rid of things. And this was kind of the first thing on the chopping block because it was an expensive game. I had no attachment to it because I haven't played it yet. I was like, you know what? Let me just get rid of it, and I'll buy it again when I'm ready to play it. And that's exactly what I did. I was ready to play it, and I bought it again. Love the color of the disc, by the way. Love that. GameCube games are really hard to like show off the manual because they've got like, oops, as I hit the camera, because they've got like this little guarding lip. So it's kind of hard to show it off, but I love this game. The combat's super cool, very straightforward. But the way that you have like different colored elements that you apply to your weapon for different type of skills you unlock, and it kind of targets different weaknesses of enemies. I think that's really cool. The special moves are awesome. The ship battles are really cool. Customizing your ship and battling with it is super fun. There's like an interesting recruitment style system to the game. Just overall, really fun game. Really cool story. I really do like the story of the game as well. If you haven't gave Skies of Arcadia a shot, definitely try this one out. I think it's a really solid JRPG. It is on the Dreamcast as well, if you wanted to play the Dreamcast version. I think the GameCube version is the best way to play it, but I don't think there'd be anything wrong with playing the Dreamcast version either. Honestly, I think they're about the same price too. Alright, final GameCube game, then I got a PSP game, and a PS3 Collector's Edition. So, I decided I was going to jump into the Fire Emblem series. And man, did I jump in to a very expensive one. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Now, I actually bought this game using gift cards. My family knows me pretty well, and they know that I go to this local game store all the time, and they just bought me gift cards to it. And honestly, that was a really smart thing to do. So I actually bought this game simply with all the money from my gift cards. So that was kind of cool to not have to pay out of pocket for something like this. And that was why I took the opportunity to really jump in on a pretty pricey GameCube game. And I don't regret it. Do I think the game is simple? Yeah, I do. I think it's a very simple tactics RPG. As you see, the grid-based, you know. But I think the animations in between, like in the battles, are really, really cool. I love simple grid-based tactical RPGs. And this really doesn't get simpler, and I think that's fine. I don't really think that we always need to be like reinventing the wheel when it comes to the genre. I think a simplistic tactics RPG is awesome. I'm not saying they won't get boring after a while, but you know, I played some Tactics Ogre Reborn. I played some Unicorn Overlord. Like, I played some other unique strategy RPGs, tactics RPGs. So, you know, it's nice to keep them fresh, but I do like the return to simplicity. I say return as if this game just came out, but like when I played it, it felt like a return to simplicity and kind of like what made the genre good. And I really, really like it. It does have permadeath, as most Fire Emblems and most tactics RPGs have, so you gotta be careful. I haven't lost anybody yet. I think I've put about 20 hours into it. I haven't lost anybody yet, which is awesome. The game runs fantastic, by the way. Those 60 frame animations, they're like, you just love to see it on the GameCube, right? I mean, most games do run at 60 on the GameCube and PS2, and like they do look really good. But man, this game looks really good. And the story, really, really captivating story in my opinion. It's simple, it's safe, but I think it's really good. It does what it needs to do. And it's got iconic Fire Emblem characters. If you're a Smash Bros. Melee fan, it's got your boy, right? Alright. Let's jump into the final two. I saved these for last because I do think... Well, I saved this one for last because it's absolutely the last pickup I got. This one I'm about to show is the last thing I bought. But I saved the other one for last because it's just cool, right? But anyway. I found this at the Megastore location for Just Press Play. I don't know... Okay. I don't know if I'm adding the little vlog footage I did to this video. So the video may have started with me going to this store, but if it didn't, whoops. Anyway, I picked up Shin Megami Tensei Persona. See that symbol? Oops. See that symbol? Of course I bought it. But no, seriously, this is a remaster. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it is a remaster. A remaster of the original Shin Megami Tensei on PS1. Original Persona. Original Shin Megami Tensei. Original Persona. And it does come with the 2-disc soundtrack, which is awesome. Remastered and rebalanced with long-awaited Snow Queen quests. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus. It doesn't autofocus. Fight against demons or negotiate with them to help you. So it's a complete Persona Experience Collector's Edition. Like I said, remastered. Comes with 2-disc soundtrack. I really wanted to try the first Persona game, but I did not want to pay the price. It is a super expensive PS1 game. Now, this was much more affordable, and I can jump into it, play it on the go, and give it a shot. There is the soundtrack. There's the track list. Sorry, again, it just doesn't really focus that well. But like I said, 2-disc soundtrack. So, super, super cool. Love physical soundtracks. That's not really a thing anymore. And then it comes with the game itself. The game, no shocker, it's in the PSP, which is right here. PSP is actually right here. My PSP 3000. I actually just had to replace the battery because guess what it was doing? As all PSPs do, swelling up. There it is. There's the UMD for it. Yeah, PSP battery started swelling, so I had to get a replacement for it. Just third-party one off Amazon, does the job. But yeah, manual right there, super, super cool. Colored manual, love that. Little strategy guide advertisement. Love me a strategy guide, right? So maybe I'll have to look for that. I have not played this yet because I was gonna play some of it just to start it, and my PSP battery bit the dust. It actually was swelling so much that I couldn't even put the battery in the system. The cover wouldn't close. It was puffed up too much. I was like, I'm not gonna force it. I think that's enough for me to realize this battery needs to go. It's basically a ticking time bomb to catch fire. Out it went. I got rid of it safely. Out it went. Got the new one in the mail. So far, it booted up. It was fine. I got it yesterday. And I just haven't touched it yet. But yeah, so booted up fine. So I hope the battery lasts. It's a little bit of a weaker battery, as it's a lower milliamp. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, the biggest problem I was having with my current battery was just it was so shot that it would die so fast anyway, that I feel like with this battery, anything's going to be better than that, right? Because with my other battery, I was pretty much playing it with it locked to the charger. Otherwise, it was just dying. All right, let's show the last game. I don't really know how well I can get this in shot, but it is a PS3 Collector's Edition for a game that I beat recently and is one of my favorite games I ever played. If you're a fan of Studio Ghibli, you have to play this game. It is fantastic. I got nothing but good things to say about Ni no Kuni in the dropped box. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White. I always say right. Wrath of the White Witch. Collector's Edition here. Gotta not hit the mic. Comes with the drippy plush and the journal. There's kind of more of what it comes with. I'm not gonna open the box, but you get DLC code for Golden Familiars. You get the drippy plush. You get a coin. You get a physical soundtrack. You get the game itself. You get a couple art prints, and you get the journal. It is a 1-for-1. I don't think I can show it this angle, right? I think it's just too big. I mean, it's kind of in there, I guess. I can like maybe open the door. What a difficult thing. But yeah, so you see the drippy plush in there. And like I said, that journal is a 1-for-1 of the journal in game, the Book of Spells and whatnot. Hardcover, awesome book. It's so cool. The drippy plush was kind of a must-have for me. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of what made me buy this collector's edition. As I try and get it back around the camera. But love this game. It's got the Pokemon type of capturing to it, with familiars, and you evolve them, and it's turn-based active time battle. I guess you can freely move around. I guess it's like Dragon Quest XI would probably be the closest I could say. You can freely move around, but your actions are turn-based. But you can, you can see an enemy preparing an attack, so you got to switch to the defend button and whatnot. So, super awesome game. Definitely wanted to show this off, and it's a little bit big, a little bit bulky, but super glad to have this. This was a must-have for me. But all right, that actually does it for this video. It was a bit of a long one. I'm sorry. I hope you were ready for it. Just haven't made a video in a while. Wanted to come on here and just drop one off. With that being said, though, really appreciate anybody that still sticks around. Like I said, I'm back to streaming. I stream on TikTok at 2BrokeGamers, Twitch 2BrokeGamers Live. I'll put it in the description. So yeah, if you want to come hang out, maybe play some Night Rain, all that stuff, play whatever, retro games. But anyway, that's all I got. I appreciate it. Let me grab my mouse here so I can end the video, right? A real person would just edit this video. Am I going to do that? Probably not. But with that being said, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.